the opportunity to talk about our product and solution, how we can improve the cloud computing or is building up the infrastructure or the data center. I'll talk about that. So before I get into the product and the solution what Adva offers, I'll talk about a little bit about Adva because many of you might not know about Adva, what we are doing in India. Adva is a company, it's a German company. We have way back 1994, we started our operation in Europe, and then across the world today we have many offices in Asia Pac. We have around 13-14 offices in US and Europe. It's basically an optical company with a mission and vision that we deliver the next generation data, voice, video into the services. We have today is a sizable company, $340 million revenue as per the last year balance sheet. It's not very big as per the the employee goes. It's around 1,200 employees across the globe, including the engineering, marketing, sales, R&D, everything. So the company-wise, although the revenue-wise we are quite sizable, but we have focused team which we deliver. So what Adva innovates, the key marketplace where Adva plays a role. First of all, we play a role in the enterprise segment, then the carrier segment, and the carrier reconnect place. Adva has started, when Adva has started way back 1994, they started with the enterprise segment of the market where we used to do the point-to-point, the networking between the two sites, where we used to do the synchronize between the fiber channels or some optical wavelengths between site A to site B. So this is how the company started, and where from there we have started to the metro segment, and the long haul segment, and where we also give the services to the carrier, and then the carrier internet. So all these three market segments we capture in worldwide. In India, we are very focused on the enterprise segment of the market as well as the carrier infrastructure. So we have today, the Railtel is one of our premium customer across India. We have a very large install base for Adva product as an infrastructure through which we are selling today the carrier, giving the connectivity to the carriers from that using that infrastructure. So the enterprise segment, yes, we work with the operator, we work with the service provider, we work with our partner to give the services to our customer. So if you see the carrier and enterprise wise, we have very large carrier market segment across the world. Every 9 out of 10 carriers across world is our customer today. If you see the names in Europe, USA, and across Asia, we have almost all the big carriers with us today, and we have more than 10,000 enterprise customers which are basically building the infrastructure for the cloud computing, or if you say data center, DR and primary site connectivity. So we have those customers across financial segment, other segment. I'll come to the forward next slides on those. So what is the advantage of Adva? We have the innovation, we have the speed for the customer, we have the product which can get into what you need today, you can buy, and then you can pay and grow. And then we have the partners, we have the partner model. We work with a lot of partners in India, Wipro, Comtel, ECS, all these partners we work through our product and solution. So as I said, we capture the three segments of the market. We capture the core segment of the market, we capture the metro segment of the market, and the enterprise segment of the market. I'll specifically talk about today the enterprise segment of the market, and which the product goes to the market is FSP 3000, which I'll come back later. But as a whole, we we support all the applications, let it be OTN or SDH, Ethernet, storage, video, everything. And as far as the speed goes, it goes from 1.5 megabit to 40 gigabit. Today we have the card which can give you the connectivity between site A and B for 40 gigabit, which goes to our enterprise segment. And all the architecture, if you say the point-to-point, point-to-multipoint, mesh, ring, we all support on our product. So this is the product which is a multi-service metro and regional long-haul product. We call it FSP 3000. FSP stands for Fiber Service Platform. 3000 the product, which is very compact, 7U high, very less power box, which only use the fully blown box 450 watt. It has got a scalability from 1 channel to 80 channel. You can go up to 80 channels, and then you can have the state-of-art technology like ROADM, TMTLS, all these things into the product. So I'll come to the enterprise segment of the things, how our enterprise story getting evolving into the market today. Today, basically, what we are doing, the same product which we goes to the enterprise segment also goes to the service provider. We are giving the services for the data center connectivity. Now, how this data center connectivity take place, I'll come to the next slides. But the market factor is, today if you see, there are a lot of growth into the data center connectivity. The new data centers are coming across India, especially. There are a lot of greenfield projects. If the IBC report, or if you go by a lot of European IT magazines, you will find that the market is going very high. So how this market is growing? If you see the year-wise, the triple play and the internet is growing in a very high way. Although the voice and mobile business is also growing, but that makes the business sense for all of us, where the data center connectivity comes to the picture. So if you see the segment-wise, the financial segment is the most utilized market for us. Where if you see all the top banks of the world, like UBS, you talk about Citibank, HSBC, you talk about American Express, they all have the data center. And for them, the data is the most important thing. If they lose a data for a microsecond also, there is a huge loss of their financial loss they have. So this the services what we build up for the site and the primary site and the DS site, we make the availability in such way, and we make the synchronized mirroring in such way that data loss doesn't take place. So this is the story of Adva. So we have the install base all segment of the market, but we are very focused on the financial segment of this for VR connectivity. So normally how the typical storage connectivity takes place between the two data centers. If you have a site in New Delhi or Mumbai, you have today the connectivity for some 2 MB or 4 MB or 8 MB, 10 MB. So this connectivity takes place between the two sites. This is not a synchronous mirroring. So what happens? Suppose there is a disaster between the two places, you lose the data. So what we talk about today is the near data center connectivity. If you go to the RBI website, you will see that there is a Brazil norm which has come out for all the banks, which has to comply with this near data site connectivity by 2011 December, where they need to have a synchronous mirroring between the two sites, where the A site and the B site has to have the real-time data replication. So this is the place where Adva plays a role, where there is a synchronized mirroring is taking place. So how the scenario, suppose if you have a data center A and B, where you have all the data, all the storage vendors like HP, IBM or EMC, all kind of storage you will be having in site A and then the site B. So what Adva plays a role between the two sites, we have the product called fiber channel, which will give you the connectivity between the two sides, which is very high speed, from 8 Mbps to 40 gigabit, 80 wavelengths, synchronous mirroring, and several protection scheme. So that makes the synchronous mirroring between the two sides. So we take everything from side A and transparently we take it to the other side. So what is the problem? The right technology. Suppose if you have today the Cisco or all the IP vendors, they have a connectivity, you can go 20,000 kilometers. But what happens in that? The latency. So that is the most important part for our business. If the latency is very high, you don't get a synchronous mirroring. If the availability and the bandwidth is very high, then you can achieve the low latency. So if you see the graph, you will see that the dark fiber and the fiber channel in the top, you will see the availability is very high, but the distance is very low. But once you go, the distance is very high, like Mumbai, Delhi, or Bangalore, Singapore, Mumbai, Singapore, then the latency increase, so that you don't get a synchronous mirroring. I'll come to the low latency in the later part. So the business needs is there are two things which drive the business. One is the recovery point objective, as well as the recovery point time of recovery. So that makes the business sense for all the banks or any big corporates to decide how much data they can lose when any disaster takes place. So the RPO and the RTO, if you see the business continuity, it takes in the microsecond, in the seconds. If you go in the minutes, hours, and the days, you get a tape backup and the disaster recovery, other solution. So how Adva is, taking advantage of this. We do our certification with all the storage vendors like EMC, Fujitsu, and all other vendors, and which gives us a certificate for the replication between the two sides. We do the testing and we take the certification from them. So this is one of the case studies where it shows that if fiber channel, it takes place between the 60 terabyte data between two sides, it takes only 15 minutes. If it is the other way, it takes around 50 days. So this is the low latency algorithm which we have in Adva. This is the part where the cloud computing comes into the picture. Suppose today you build any infrastructure, if the latency is high today, you cannot have achieve the customer delivery.